Hi guys, welcome to Flash Fact. Today we're going to take a closer look at PvP gear. I mentioned it a bit quickly in other videos, but it's worth making a video just for that because it is confusing for many players. I have a lot of friends who, when I tried to explain to them how this worked, holy crap, it wasn't fun. So let's try and make it as simple as we can. Eons ago, when we were buying our PvP gear, essentially our girl was selling the PvP gear that you see in the display. That nice looking high tech Hawkman gear. Nowadays, sadly, that's no longer the case. You cannot get that gear from Hawk Girl anymore. So what you get from Hawk Girl at first is there's two gears. There's the 96 PvP level gear, which kind of looks like this if you can see the chest. And let's look at the pants. And let's look at the helmet. So some sort of high-tech, I don't know, security guard or personnel. So that's the 96 gear. And essentially, in the past, you needed to buy the 96 gear in order to be able to get the 97 gear. Uh, Not sure why it doesn't seem to work like that. Maybe it's because, let's see. I already have some old PvP gear. I didn't upgrade that gear in a long time. I already have some 86 PvP gear. You can see that that's how long ago I was doing any PvP with this little guy. So if I compare it with her gear, it's still way beneath. So essentially I have some 86 gear right now. I could buy the 96 gear if I wanted to for maybe the style. But as you can see, I can straight go up and buy the 97 gear. So not sure why someone wouldn't start to do that. So let's show you what the 97 gear. Like the 97 gear also, it's like some sort of high-tech security guard or soldier or something. So it's slightly different than the other one, but not that much. So anyways, and as you can see, I cannot see the 97 gear in the 97 PvP gear because in order to be able to see it and then purchase it, I have first to buy the entire 97 PvP gear first. So you have to buy the whole gear, all the pieces, and the mask, and the trinket. Oh, the trinket here is here, sorry, and the trinket, and the neck piece, and you need two rings, and you also need to buy the PvP weapon from this little guy. So in order to be able to get the 98 gear, you have to buy all of that from those two characters. You have to buy the entire 97 gear from Hog Girl with rings and everything, and then you have to buy the weapon from this little requisition T01 HWMA guy. So, and I'll show you the other vendors also to show you what I mean, in the sense saying that you do not see the PvP gear at all. I'm not sure what the reason is behind that. Is it because they don't want you to be able to buy it ahead of time or something? Or to be confused to see some gear that you cannot buy? But then again, how hard would it have been to just put some you cannot buy it because you don't meet the requirements for it. Like essentially, at first that's all you see from the PvP vendor. You see no gear, no nothing. All you see is the soda and a few trinkets, and that is it. And also, like the latest PvP gear, the last two PvP gears, if I'm not mistaken, and aren't displayed. I guess when the oh, and here you can see that's the 96 PvP gear here. It's this little guy here, and that's the 97 PvP gear here. So I guess when the devs upgraded the PvP, they never realized that making those display was probably is a lot of work, and they didn't realize that people wouldn't buy replay badges or play PvP as much as they thought. So I guess they figured it, in the end it was a lot of work to replace those little guys, and they didn't see it as being worth it. And this is the old PvP gear. Essentially, some of it I think you can get from the vault, but the vault being what it is, the odds of getting a full suit from the vault are astronomical. So you pretty much have no choice but bite the bullet and come here and buy each piece individually. It may seem a lot, 800, and I guess on top of all the PvP gear that you have to buy at 1,000 and 2,000 a piece, it is a lot. But essentially, it technically it only means 8 matches if you lose, or 4 matches if you win. Although 8 matches times all the pieces that you can see here, that is a lot of matches. I'll give you that. So hopefully you don't have to buy all of them. Hopefully you get at least some of them from the vault. But then again, the vault you can't rely on the vault for that. The odds of that just won't happen. So essentially, I will for this video I will need help from. I won't be able to do it just with my flash character. I'll need help from a character or two. So I will switch character to be able to show you a bit more about the actual PvP equipment, and also. And even then, I don't think I had all the PvP gear with any characters. I won't say I gave up on PvP. I just didn't do PvP all that much for a long time. Where is our friend? So we'll start with our friend Magneto. So essentially, I had brought Magneto up to full vengeance. The summer origin crisis was up, and I'm not sure if I even did any more. And then I was a long time without doing any PvP because the new PvP season at the time pretty much soured the whole experience of doing PvP for me. Uh, Essentially, for a while, the devs had a good idea, uh, quote unquote, to have to give only marks for wins and no marks for a loss, which seemed like a good idea at first, I suppose, since everyone was starting with the exact same gear. And I remember that first, oh, wrong place. I remember that first day when we had the new season of PvP, and everyone had the same gear. Holy crap! It took just a handful of matches to get all my wins, and I was done for the day. And I figured, okay, tomorrow I'll because the PvPs were daily at the time. You could not play them as much as you can now. Okay, so here the top gear is the 97 gear. I'm not sure why I thought there was more after that, but then the next gear will be at the other vendors. So anyway, so the first day, I essentially at first when they had the new PvP seasons, you would be locked after you had a win. So you would play the matches and matches and matches until you won, and once you won, you were done for that day and had to come back the next day, or use replay badges. And what I failed to anticipate was that some players would replay and replay and replay, and by the end of the day, when I tried to show the new PvP to some of my friends, holy crap, we kept on facing guys who were already in full vengeance. So that pretty much, essentially, I was using that to try and convince my friends to do PvP, but it pretty much did the opposite. It convinced them never to bother with it. Oh, going a little too far. So you can see essentially there's all the prefab mods that weren't there before. So right now, like my character has, what gear do I have? Oh, wrong. Let's switch. So right now, as you can see, I still have the Vengeance gear. I didn't do any PvP with my Magneto since.
Hello, combatants. The authorized number of trading marks can be exchanged for sections of state-of-the-art combat equipment.
So essentially, the 98 PvP gear, if I'm not mistaken, it's the Hawkeye gear, or what should be the Huntress gear, but it ends up looking a lot like Hawkeye somehow. Like you can see that little chest piece here, and you can see where's the head. Ah, there it is. No, that's not the one. Where's the headpiece? Oh, there it is. So you can see the headpiece, which is pretty much holy crap. That's Hawkeye, which is kind of cool. I probably should make a Hawkeye character at some point. And here, that's the wrong one. Okay, so that's the 99 PvP gear, and as you can see, I don't have access to the 100 gear yet. That's the little helmet, well, which is okay, I suppose. So as you see, I didn't see the all that gear. I didn't see it with my Flash character because my Flash character didn't have the whole 97 gear yet. Just as you can see, my Magneto doesn't have the whole 90 doesn't have any 99 gear yet. So in order to be able to see the PvP 100 gear, I would have to have the entire PvP 99 gear in order to just to even be able to see it, let alone buy it. So luckily, I have the entire 98 gear, so that's why I can see the 99 gear right now. So and the same goes with the weapon. So essentially, again, you have to buy the entire gear. I cannot stress that enough, and the weapon in order to be able to see the next tier of gear. And let's see.
Hello, combatants. The authorized number of trading marks
And
can
with
be
my friend
exchanged for sections
Magneto,
of
I've
state-of-the-art
pretty much
combat
all
equipment.
that gear already because I bought it eons ago when it was, I guess, easier to buy it at the time. And also I got a lot of it from the vault. But at some point there were like three pieces that I would never ever see from the vault. So I ended up buying them for at the time it was a lot more than 800 marks of victory. But anyways, so let's go see our little friend Galactus to see a bit more about the PvP gear, and also you will see the PvP gear on the villain side. So let's go see. Essentially, I pretty much didn't do any PvP with Magneto other than to buy a few pieces of gear that I was missing from the style vendor. When I did PvP since Origin Crisis, it was with my Magneto character, my Galactus character, and there was this one other character that I used. But once in a while, I will do some PvP matches with any given character, but I didn't really grind PvP for quite a long time. Essentially, like the as I said, this character is pretty much the one character with whom I did grind PvP for a bit to try and get some PvP gear. And there's like on PC, there's the Dark Devil character that I have where I did sort of start to grind for PvP gear, but not really. So in here, let's go see. In here, it's pretty much the same, but essentially the first gear you get is from Ursa. So again, you can see she's selling the 97 gear.
Incoming connections needed.
Once you have the entire 97 gear, and you have to go in that little corner, which is a bit messed up because there's plenty of empty room in the watchtower in the Hall of Doom, but they crammed the PvP gear in this little corner. Like you can, and also you can see those soldiers. Like here, here's the 96. What used to be the 96? Well, what is the 96 gear PvP gear? Here you have the 97 PvP gear. So you can see it's pretty much generic looking soldiers. And here You have the oh, here you have the style vendor. So I went to the wrong robot. And here you have the PvP gear. Again, you can see I did not, I do not have access to the 100 gear yet. So and you have the mods that you can buy for 500 victor marks of valor, and also so you have the uh, you have this Harley Quinn gear, which is kind of hard to see because of the colors. Let's the head would or probably like you can see it's a bit it's supposed to be inspired by Harley Quinn. It may be more obvious on a female character. And then you have the Android gear, which is inspired by Amazo. Not sure how that's supposed to be Amazo, but anyways. Well, maybe the helmet would help a bit. No, not really. So as you can see, I did not do much PvP in quite some time, and I did not bother to go all the way up to the end. But yeah, you can see the prices also. Essentially, it's one from it's from 500 to 2,000 per piece. So essentially, the ring, the neck, the trinket are 500. Most of the gear, like the gloves, the belt, the boots, will be 1,000, and like the chest pieces and the where's the leg? The chest and leg pieces will be 2,000, and for some reason the shoulders are like 1,500. So it it it's not that hard to grind, but you have to dedicate at least some time to it, and also you have to be prepared that maybe you'll lose at least a few matches. The stat bonus aren't that big, but essentially you get extra stats from obviously as you can see the 99 gear gives a bit more stats than the 98 gear, and the 100 gear probably gives a bit more stats than the 99 gear. But from the 97, 96 or from the 97, no, the 96 up to the 100, there is a quite a step of stat difference. And also, once you gather the 100 gear, then you will probably put the best mod in there, which will increase the stats even more. So because you won't bother to most people I'm pretty sure will not bother to mod the 96 gear. You're going to wait until you have the end gear until you actually start modding it. So once you have the 100 gear, the 100 gear, and then you put in the best mod in there, which is Type 7 mods right now. The stat difference will be quite significant compared to the 96 gear that will have no mods or maybe better mods if you really want to have mods. Although the PvP gear, unlike the PvE gear, no longer has affinity bonuses, so it doesn't really matter. As you can see, personally, what I do is that I end up putting synthetic mods in there, uh, but those are gone. So, or well, those are not gone, but they're a lot more expensive. So I won't be doing that anymore, sadly. So that was it for the PvP gear. I know it's a bit confusing. I'm not sure why they made it so confusing. It would have been so simple to just you put it at a vendor and you see the gear, but you see that you cannot buy it, and just clearly indicate there's a requirement to be able to buy it. So once you meet the requirement, then you can buy it. But somehow they went with the you cannot see it until you can buy it approach, which is very confusing for new players, and even old players were confused for a bit with that system. I remember seeing lots of shouts of people saying, "Oh, I can't see the gear, and where's the gear, and how do I buy the gear?" And we kept on the first few days and weeks of the first PvP season. All we kept on explaining to people, you have to buy the full set, and then you will see the next set. So it was all kinds of confusing for no good reason, at least none that I can see. But I'm sure they had their reasons to proceed as they did. It just it didn't make much sense at the time, and even now in retrospect, it still doesn't make that much sense. So, anyways, so that was for a few of you guys who are new to PvP and somehow don't quite understand how it actually works. Hopefully, it did help just at least a handful of you guys. So that was it for Flash Fact. Hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.